I gave my mother-in-law a fake copy of my house key and exposed her on Christmas dinner. So my mother-in-law Janet has always been a nightmare. She's one of those people who thinks just because she squeezed out my husband 15 years before I met him, she owns him forever. She's constantly dropping by unannounced, rearranging my furniture when I'm not looking, and making passive-aggressive comments about how I keep house. Last month, she told me my meatloaf tasted like cardboard right in front of my husband, then laughed like it was some hilarious joke. But the final straw was when I came home early from work 3 weeks ago and found her in my bedroom going through my dresser drawers. She was literally holding up my underwear, examining it like she was some kind of fabric inspector. When I asked what the hell she was doing, she had the audacity to say she was just checking if I was taking proper care of myself for her son. I was so mad I could barely speak. But instead of blowing up right then, I decided to get creative. See, Janet had been asking for a spare key to our house for months, claiming it was for emergencies. My husband kept saying we should give her one, but I always found excuses to put it off. So I went to the hardware store and had them make a fake key. Not just any fake key, though. I had them cut one that looked exactly right, but wouldn't work in any of our locks. The guy at the counter thought I was crazy when I explained what I wanted, but he did it anyway. The next weekend, when Janet came over for dinner, I made a big show of presenting her with her very own key to our house. I even put it on a little keychain that said, "World's Best Mother-in-Law," that I bought at the dollar store. She was so happy she actually teared up, which almost made me feel bad. Almost. For 2 weeks, everything was normal. Then last Tuesday, I got a text from my neighbor asking if everything was okay because there was a woman sitting on my front porch crying and screaming about broken keys. I knew immediately what had happened. Apparently, Janet had tried to use her key to let herself in while we were both at work, probably to do more snooping. When it didn't work, she tried for like 20 minutes thinking she was doing something wrong. Then she called a locksmith, convinced our locks were broken. The locksmith took one look at her key and told her it was a fake. Janet was absolutely livid. She called my husband at work demanding he come home immediately to deal with his wife's disrespectful behavior. But here's the thing. I'd already told my husband about the fake key plan the night before, and he was actually on board with it after I told him about the underwear drawer incident. So when Janet called him screaming, he just said, "Oh, that key? Yeah, we know it's fake. Maybe next time ask before going through our stuff." Then he hung up on her. By the time Christmas dinner rolled around last week, Janet was still fuming but trying to act normal. She kept making these weird passive-aggressive comments throughout dinner about trust and family respect. Finally, during dessert, she couldn't hold it in anymore. She stood up and announced to the whole table that I had betrayed the family trust by giving her a fake key. She expected everyone to be outraged on her behalf. Instead,